So when I say Diary of a Madman, there are two things that come to mind. There is, of course, the legendary Ozzy Osbourne song that's playing in the background, and the album, of course. Lo and behold, they actually come from that title comes from a 1963 movie of the same title, which is loosely based off of a French novel, like the 1800s or something like that. And surprisingly, in this one, sorry, I love the song. Anyway, yeah, surprisingly, a subdued performance from Mr. Price, and it's like, yeah, I was not expecting that. Instead of him being an over-the-top villain, or being devilishly great, he instead is trying to overcome a foe. It's called a Horak, H-O-R, Horlick, something like that, which is supposedly could be a manifestation of one's madness, or it could be an actual entity that is causing problems. And I'm like, okay, I like where this is going. I want to see it. It's like, okay, let's also have a little bit of an insertion of Price's love of art. So this is kind of, I guess, maybe a little bit of I wouldn't want to say a vanity project, but nods to his real life interest rather than just filming all the time. And I'm like, okay, pretty cool. Because it takes place in Paris, 1860. It's like, okay, let's have a diary and him explain his descent into madness. What is going on? Is it a manifestation of the 12 years that he's tried to do repentance for his wife that committed ruicide, or is it something else? Well, there's a trope in literature called the unreliable narrator, in which the narrator presents some evidence, but it is not supported by the other characters. Instead, it's like you could. Instead, could be delusional. It could be them just trying to make themselves feel more important. This was seen in the movie, in the book, I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. So this is a narrative device. Yet here it is confirmed to be real, that it is an evil entity, invisible, but whatever. And yeah, all this sounds great. You know, we got some billing, we got a couple of billings going on. We've got, Vincent, like I said, Vincent Price being surprisingly restrained, but I don't know, it just felt it just felt boring to me. I guess it was too slow. It was trying to be like a gothic horror. I guess. I mean, there are some interesting scenes, like one like towards the last 20 minutes where they're running through the streets of Paris and the possession that's happening. Yes, there was an actual possession happening. You know, the eyes turned green. And it's like, cool. I like this. You know, it's an inward and it's a battle, I guess, kind of like Jekyll and Hyde, I suppose. So I like that. I don't know. I feel torn about this one. This one is like in the beginning, it's interesting. It's like, yeah, in the beginning, let's have this great revelatory moment of the passing on of the spirit from a serial murderer into our hero Simon, who is a magistrated judge, yeah, I like that. It's like they got some discussions going on, but then there's like him being, what's this, Clay, working with Clay, something like that, and it's just, Yeah, I mean, I like the thematic exploration of him going into madness and how the doctor said he can prescribe it, but it's up to the patient to take it, which is pretty true for my line of work. But just I don't know. We do get it's like we get enough of the descent into madness, but it was just needed a little bit more punch. I guess it needed some more. Cause we get some we do get the psychological torment, but I don't know. It just felt like it was just missing something. Is what I'm trying to recall. I think it was just because it was on a short story. They have to stretch it out for so long, and it's like yeah, and I don't know. It just the pace. I guess it's just the pacing that I had a problem with, and I'm just like I think maybe if they had more of the torment or even the voiceover of our hero, it probably of the creature itself, I would have liked that. But ultimately, we just don't get enough. Of course, what doesn't help is that yes, there was this uncredited producer named Edward Smalls who comes in again, and he just I don't know. Maybe his sense just belonged to a certain time, but I think that when he gets his hands on certain projects towards the end of his life in the 60s, it just didn't feel right. I mean, we get a little bit of blood, we get some beautiful artwork, but it just feels like it could have just gone maybe one step further. Oh yeah, I forgot. There was a nice woman named Nancy Novak here. There's a great scene where he's sculpting and sketching and stuff like that. It's like I like that. It's like the balance of him trying to maintain his sanity, and it's like when he gets prescribed, it's like yeah, go do some sculpting. That will help you out, and you just focus on yourself. Just take a little time away from being a magistrate. And it's like, yeah, sketch the woman and then perform the sculpting. Eventually, once you can figure out what happens to her, the sculpture itself starts to become deformed. And both in the butler and the, I guess, chef or whatever comment on it, and they could tell that he's going down. So, oh, camera's fine. Focuses. I guess there are some nice shots at the end in the streets of Paris where he's pretending I guess we're having Simon the Ripper instead of Jack. So I like that. We get a little bit of religious tones with the priest who's trying to help him and is like, hey, yeah, take me to the church. And is like, here, bring over the daughter of some person, I forgot who. This will help clear my evidence. And we see the titular diary throughout. And it ultimately just leads to a rather satisfying conclusion. So, I don't know. I like this movie overall, but I just think it just needed something else. Just maybe a little bit more excitement in order to stand this out. But how would I rate this? Between, good. I'd say, opinions on this are mixed. Some people like it, others say it's a bore fest. It's like anyway, if you look on the IMDb, it's like the ratings are anywhere between I don't know, anywhere between like a 5 and an 8. So it's like your mileage may vary on this. Of course, with this being based on a French novel and some poet who wrote themes about the novel itself is based on another novelist or poet or something who wrote about existence and things like that. So obviously that's going to take some influence in here. And of course it influenced Ozzy Osbourne with what is probably one of his better albums, especially SADO is my personal favorite track from that. So I don't know, make of that what you will. It's like this is overall a good movie, but I just feel like it just needed something else. So ultimately, I say do go and watch Dire or Madman, but just keep in mind that it maybe needed like one or two other things to make this pretty good, really good.